Hello, everybody. And how is everybody out there in YouTube world? And how do we feel about being back in freaking Westeros? I am so happy. I'm so freaking happy that we are back to where we should be. It took long enough. I really wish that the shows did not take so long to develop. I really do wish they did not take too long to develop because, you know, but you can't rush greatness. And hopefully that's what this is because we have had some disappointments recently in the world of Westeros. Seriously, it's actually been kind of sucky. So, but all right, I will give everybody just a second to get in here. But other than that, I am glad that we are back in Westeros. I really am. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said before, it was definitely bittersweet. Every Game of Thrones show for me is going to be bittersweet for obvious reasons, but I'm excited. I'm excited. So, this is not going to be a super long live because we will be covering this in depth with my cousin Lamont Tyson, and we will be doing that tomorrow. 9 p.m. You know the vibes. We cover all the good stuff. So, anyway, I'm just going to jump right in. And when you guys get here, you get here. If you're watching it on replay, thank you for coming. But, all right, so my first impression on a scale of 1 to 10, I definitely give this episode a solid 10. First of all, like I said, I'm very happy to be back in Westeros. But 2, Duncan Egg's dynamic is very remnant of a certain 2 people. Can we guess who? Yes, if you guessed Arya and the Hound, you guessed correctly. It is very remnant of that in a sense of, it's like a nuisance situation, and then you end up liking and caring for the person. And granted, this is a much shorter series, so, we're kind of to the point with that. We don't have seasons to develop that, and, so all of that to say, this is good. This is good because it is so short and because it is a complete story. I pray that they stay on topic and do not take it upon themselves to stray away and F up George's work like a lot of people have been doing. Okay. And if you're a real throners, like you know the tea of what George just said about Ryan Condal. And it's just like, what the F, dude? Like, was Dan and Dave not enough? Why do y'all keep messing with this man's story? Mr. George, if you ever hear this, I say you just go Jersey on him. Yeah, you're from Jersey. Act like it. Just take everybody's set off. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, all right. So first things first, it starts off with the burial scene, and it was very emotional. Like for me, especially, it's like you start off with the burial, you're talking to the person, it's just like, miss my grim. But anyway, the night, like whoever I forgot his name, like I said, I'll have this ready by tomorrow, but whoever he was dealing with and whoever he was squiring for growing up was a twat. Like, sir, why was you slapping that little boy like that? Like, he was really abusing Dunk. Like, that's really crazy. Like, no, like, free Dunk. Well, the man is dead, so Dunk is free till it's backwards. But anyway, it was emotional, but you could tell he obviously kept him safe and maybe cared somewhat about him, or maybe, it was just a protection of feeling like he cared, whatever the case may be. But indeed, he did feel a way, you know what I'm saying? Everybody likes a companion, so he did feel a way about him dying. So, speculation, like they said in Game of Thrones, fast forward to the future, Brienne of Tarth would be related to him in some sort of way. That's why she's so big. So, I hope that's kind of figured out by the time the show is over. That would be awesome if that was true. But yeah, so it went to him like the pooping on the tree. It was just like, was that really needed for him to like look up at the damn bird? Like, I don't feel like we needed to see like a half giant man pooping. Like, that was actually kind of crazy. So yeah. But Egg, we get introduced to little Egg. And we have heard Egg before, you know what I'm saying? When Maester Aemon was dying and he was saying, Egg, I dreamed that I was old. Like, this is his younger brother. This is the Egg. This is Aegon Targaryen. And I love that. And I love how every Aegon is different. You know what I mean? Like, some are very just bout it, like the Conqueror. Some are very passive and sweet, like this one, you know. Then some are batty, you know. So shout out to all the Aegons out there. And Egg is also the Mad King's grandfather, thus for making him Daenerys' great-grandfather. So, yes, Egg's line went from good to evil back to good. Love that. Long live Danny. Anyway, so Duncan is quite a jerk at first, like towards Egg. And I don't know, it's kind of just like that piss off attitude. That's why I said it reminds me of the Hound and Arya a bit. But he does come around as we see later on, which is definitely good. But he actually really was a jerk at first. But in my mind, I don't know why I didn't ring off immediately a bald child. How often do you see a bald child? I would automatically thought he was a Targaryen, but it's just my mind, common sense, but whatever. And, you know, he did, he, oh yeah, definitely did say that I wasn't a fan of the guy who Dunk was squire to because he was beating him. But yeah, so I did love when he finally got to the attorney and the registrar, like he was a hot mess. That was like perfect comedic relief. Like he was messing with him the whole time. Like I actually really do love that. That was a cute little scene. The whores. Oh my gosh. If the world of Westeros don't have nothing, it's gonna have some whores in there. Westeros and whores go together like peanut butter and jelly. Like they're just, it's always a Westerosi horse somewhere in Game of Thrones, bruh. Like episode 1 of every, you just gonna catch some whores. I love it. I love it. But yeah, when they called him sad, I was like, oh no. And as much as a jerk as he is, you can tell he's sensitive because, first of all, he's huge. Like, he's really freaking tall. And then on top of that, like, you could tell he's kind of like sensitive. And clearly, like, once again, the guy he was squire to, like, did not nourish him, like, was really just like playing him completely out. So I think he does need like a bit more of like love, companionship. And I think that's where the relationship with him and Egg is going to grow beautifully because Egg just seems like a sweetie. But anyway, speaking of the horrors, fast forward when he acts like, must you mock me? Like I said, like I could tell like he was actually sensitive. Dunk seems like a really good dude. I'm not going to lie. And I genuinely love that. All the dragons are dead. Yeah. Okay. So if you did not know the timeline, clearly this is in between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. We are at the middle show. We're at the middle ground with this one. So all the dragons are dead, but I was really feeling like, I feel like the plays that we were seeing with the pyro and the dragons looked way better than what we saw on Game of Thrones. But then again, like the dragons might be taboo and people like really not trying to tell tales with like drag. But I don't know, like that was actually really fire. Like the pyro, the whole drag, it was good looking. And that is actually the clip from the trailer. So shout out to me when I was on Lamont's channel talking with Cuz. He was like, you know, it's a dragon in a thing. I said, no, like that is definitely like a play or something. And granted, yeah, it was. So we know Duncan's not racist because he was eyeing little brown girl. So I was just like, all right, well, that's a love story about to build, I guess. We'll see who she is because we didn't even get a name. So that's going to be interesting. Hopefully she comes back. She was really pretty. Dunk dancing, like going in and dancing was probably like top 10 in the episode because once again, he is so large and it's just like so out of place and just bippity boppity bippity boppity. Like he was out there. He was so cute though. It was an adorable scene. And him saying that he was just there for the supper. And then the guy like taking back, like, yeah, well, that's understandable. Like everybody loves food. So that was too cute. But all in all, when he gets back to the campsite and he sees Egg, and it's just like, what are you doing here? But he did everything that a proper squire would do, like cooked food, dealt with the horses, washed his clothes, like everything, like did the campsite. And then he finally breaks down and is just like, okay. And I think it's also because when he ran into the guy was like, you know, every night needs a squire, which is what Egg told him before he left. But you know, adults sometimes they don't listen. But when he looked at him and he said, I promise not to beat you, like I really think he meant that with his heart because he doesn't want to win. He threw the like unless you deserve it in there, and I think just to kind of like be a tough guy. But I thought that was beautiful. And then ending it with looking up and saying, you know, the sweet thing about shooting stars, and Dunk like whatever, and then kind of coming back like, well, wait, is that just for us? And then like he ignored him and like faked sleep. It was like, it's a cute dynamic building, and I'm really looking forward to this. So if indeed you are looking forward to this, make sure you tune in on Monday to me and Lamont Tyson. Go over to Cousin Channel Life Games. It'll be streaming on both of our pages. And if you have not read the books, because I am dueling right now, doing both, Get a Night of the Seven Kings was definitely a book. Like, this is definitely an updated cover, because this is literally the actors and the cover of the HBO. But it is actually only, let's see, because it is not that many pages. That I know. Like, it's very short. So I really could probably read this in a day, to be honest. I read like lightning. I read The Housemaid in 3 days. Alrighty. So this book is 355 pages. Yeah. So this is very light. So, and it comes with pictures, and it comes with like pictures. So yeah, there we go. You can kind of see now. So yeah, definitely go in and get this. So, I mean, there's no spoilers. I mean, if you watch Game of Thrones, you kind of know what the ending of this is going to be. So if you do not know, I will not remind you, because this is our first time having a live, but I will let you know we do spoilers over here. So catch up. Catch up or watch me when you caught up. Those are your two options. There will be spoilers over here. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to my live. I'm so happy. I will be back next week. Every week I will be coming 15 minutes after the episode. Give everybody, some people watch it like on a delay, things like that. Every week we will be going live at 11 for just about 10 to 15 minutes to give first reactions. Hopefully we can get some of the gang over here, some of the original life gangers, and we can get them over here for a very quick reaction as well. But as always, love you guys. The Khaleesi loves you. Kisses to all my Westerosies and the Khalasar. And I will see you next week, guys. Bye.